Good afternoon, everybody. It is opening day in the MLB, but it is also another day in the NBA season as well. Josh with RotoPros here to go over tonight's 8-game slate in the NBA. We have a nice 1-week free trial on RotoPros.com where we have a lot to offer. Some great one-on-one coaching, a lot of advice. We've been doing this for years now. My staff and myself, my partners, my colleagues, my friends. We know what we're doing over there. And DraftKings and DFS in general is legal because more people, the same people win over and over for the most part. They ruled in court there's more skill than luck. So over at RotoPros, we try and teach you to learn those skills so that you start defying luck and winning some money on your own, helping pay those bills. So without further ado, we'll start with point guards, but don't forget to check back later tonight to rotopros.com for the most up-to-date information, especially with the NBA. It gets tricky with a lot of injury news that I don't have access to right now at 12 o'clock in the afternoon that we will have access to later tonight. So anyway, my top play on this, or maybe not my top play, but one of my top expensive plays on the slate right away, James Harden, point guard. I think his ownership will be pretty low tonight because he's had a couple duds, in a row, especially for him. He's such a great player that anything less than 60 seems to be a dud, especially these days where we want 6X on DraftKings and his price is $11K. So, that by default means we want over, 65 for him tonight. So, Denver's a really good team. This is a playoff preview. I'm not sure based on the seeding right now if these two teams will face each other, but they are two of the more exciting teams in the West, and it's no coincidence that Harden's last two bad games have kind of come in blowout situations. So I expect tonight to be a really good competitive game with Denver. I'll pull up his stats in a second to see what he's done earlier this year. But moving along, Ben Simmons will be back tonight for Philly. I prefer Joel Embiid because Brooklyn struggles against centers in this game, but Ben Simmons is certainly in play. D'Angelo Russell as well. If I could call him more of a GPP option because his price is getting up there and Dinwiddie's around. So in my opinion, it's only a matter of time before Dinwiddie has one of his crazy nights. And Russell, there's no real extra usage to go around there, and so I avoid him a little bit. I prefer Luka Doncic for $300 cheaper. We'll see if Josh Richardson ends up going tonight for Miami, but if Richardson and Winslow are both out, I do like Luka Doncic as well. Moving to more mid-range plays, Moutier for the Knicks will be getting the start, and he's had some pretty respectable usage rates and minutes recently with Dennis Smith Jr. out. Kevin Knox is also questionable, so if he's out as well, then I like Moutier for the Knicks. Fred VanVleet is a little too cheap tonight. He's at 4,800 on DraftKings, and he makes for a nice cash play. And Derek White is someone else who should be in consideration at 5,200. Kadeem Allen for the Knicks. Again, he'll be playing backup point guard minutes. And Ian Clark as well. Looks like Frank Jackson's going to miss this one for New Orleans, so Clark should get the promotion to the starting five, and he's only at 3,700. Moving on to shooting guard, Harden, as we mentioned, same deal. Doncic, Russell, same deal. DeMar DeRozan, definitely in play going against Cleveland. That could be a high-scoring one tonight, so definitely I'm fine with that for cash. VanVleet, again, we discussed already. Shooting guard's much of the same, at least for me on DraftKings, but Pat Connaughton I do like as well. I'm blanking on the top of my head, but he should be getting about 30 minutes tonight, it says on these projections. So his minutes are trending up for sure. He played 30 minutes last game. He had 14, 7, and 4, and 2 and 2. So it was a bit of a blowout. So there's got to be someone out. So I'll update that later. But for now, just keep Connaughton in your player pool. And Luke Kennard, someone I wrote up, a good matchup tonight. He's been pretty consistent with his role and his minutes. They're trending up as well at the moment. His usage seems to be there. Nothing crazy, but he's got a high floor, low ceiling, I would say, for Kennard. And then Ian Clark we already discussed, and Sterling Brown is probably going to get another start from Milwaukee, so he's in play at 3,700. Moving over to small forward, Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the top plays on the slate as well. He's projecting very well. It's a plus matchup. The Clippers don't guard threes very well. He's pretty dynamic. They don't protect the paint, and Giannis gets more points in the paint than anybody in the NBA. So if this one stays competitive, he should have a big night for sure. Rudy Gay will probably get another start for San Antonio, although I don't really like him that much. I'd say he's more of a cash play. Pat Connaughton down at 4,500. We discussed. And Kenrick Williams, he's someone I talked about against the Hawks. I feel the same way about him against the Kings. So we'll see how that works. And Bogdanovich, he's kind of really slipped down to 4,700 on DraftKings. We'll see what happens tonight, but this is a game that favors players like him. So, and Mario Hezonja for cash at 4,200 with all these injuries to the Knicks. If Kevin Knox is out, I like Hezonja even more. Stanley Johnson at 3,600 is someone that I've been noticing lately. Again, don't stuff him in, but this could be a crazy game tonight. Very fast pace, and they're shorthanded now with Frank Jackson out too. So maybe Stanley may even get the start over Ian Clark. We'll see. Giannis again at the 4. LaMarcus Aldridge is someone I wrote up today. I like him against Cleveland. He's had some dominant games lately out of nowhere and good matchups. So this could be another one of those. Although we'll see how the usage breaks down today with injuries. I'm not stuffing him in any lineups either. Anthony Davis is supposed to play tonight. That complicates things for New Orleans a little bit. So I'm off Julius Randle. Bam Adebayo's got a good matchup against Dallas. I like him tonight. He's in play for cash and GPP. Christian Wood is like the GPP special. He had a crazy game out of nowhere the other day. He's had a really good year for in the G League. He was averaging like 28 and 15 or some crazy numbers. So obviously that is the G League, but he just had a crazy stat line last game where we saw his potential. He had like 9 blocks and steals combined. So I like Christian Wood. He's a GPP special. Ownership will be probably kind of high tonight because of what he did last time out. Everyone's going to think he's going to replicate that and stuff him in there. But with Anthony Davis playing tonight, I'm not that high on him personally. And then last but not least, the center position, Joel Embiid, one of my top plays on the slate. I love the matchup. I love him. He's vibing. His price is good enough that I think his price is great. So Joel Embiid, number 1 for me. Andre Drummond is another guy I like. I think he's in play as well with the matchup against Orlando. I'm trying not to repeat myself. So it's a lot of the same guys. I like Mitchell Robinson more than Christian Wood tonight. That's my GPP call. But other than that, check out the article and the NBA sheet, which is to come soon for the rest. Thanks and have a good day. Go Yankees.